This amazing thing happened to me. Something that happened in the reality got cured in my dream.
Manifest mindset with me.
Hello and welcome to Manifest Mindset by Affirm Afform Attract. Your place to come to when you need tips and advice when manifesting. We are an affirmation channel and you can find all our affirmation videos on YouTube. Hello and welcome everybody. Welcome back to Manifest Mindset. It seems like it's been forever for me because I tried to do my podcast in advance to free me up to do other things, and as you can hear, I got a little bit of a cold and I wanted to do one for this Sunday, but I could not manage it. Anyway, guys, listen. From the intro, something happened to me in reality that didn't get cured in my dream exactly, but it kind of fixed my problem in my dream, and I'm gonna go and explain further. So as I just said, I had a cold and I've been really bunged up, and I've been really kind of, the one when you're drowning in your own mucus in your head. So anyway, I've gone to bed and I was sleeping and I was dreaming. Now I dream a lot. I dream every night and I remember most of my dreams. I'm an avid dreamer. I've been like that since I was a child. I've always had dreams. So dreaming is just normal for me. Anyway, I was dreaming, and in my dream, I felt like I was drowning. I couldn't breathe, and then I felt as though if I didn't clear my nose, that I wouldn't be able to soon breathe out of my mouth. So I was literally panicking in my dream. And someone, I don't know who, had a stick, just a thin stick. Imagine a lolly stick, but really thin and longer. And they gave it to me and I stuck it up one of my nostrils and I inhaled, and I could smell the menthol, the stuff that, is it menthol? Is it menthol? Well, like you get in Vicks and stuff that clears your nose. And soon as I took a whiff of that, my nose became unblocked. Few seconds to maybe a couple of minutes later, I woke up and I was no longer drowning. I still had a bunged up nose, but I could breathe a lot better. And this really kind of this is like, this is going to be my next podcast. I'm going to be talking about this on my next podcast because, guys, thoughts become things. Thoughts become things. And I know a lot of people don't believe it, but at the end of the day, we're not addressing people who don't believe in that stuff, because to me, just talk to the people who believe it. But it's not the first time that something has happened in my dream. Like, for example, many years ago, this was in my teenage years, so this was many years ago, I had dreamed that I was on the Hearts and Diamonds in the fun fair. Do you guys remember the Hearts and Diamonds, the one that you stand up and you're in the cage and it just goes round? So you're kind of like a hamster wheel. So it doesn't go around where your feet is kind of like parallel to the ground. It's like you're turned on your side and it spins round and round forever. So I had a dream. I went to my local fair, which isn't too far away from where I live. And when I woke up, my knees were to my chest and my hands were in a grabbing the bar position, and my stomach was clenched in, because obviously it's kind of scary. And I literally woke up like that. And guys, I know some people can't comprehend this, and even those people who believe in manifestation sometimes can't comprehend this, but your mind literally does bring things into reality. Your mind makes you believe that things are real, makes you believe sends messages to your body that is real. That's why when some people die in their sleep, obviously the coroner will say, or the doctor will say, it was a heart attack or they had a stroke in their sleep. But then what caused that stroke? If they're old, it will always be cast off as old age. Or if they've had a history of angina or mild heart attacks, then they will just say, it's bound to happen. But has anybody thought about, people could be dreaming, and whatever happened in the dream shocked the body so much that you don't wake up. I remember my son telling me that he once had a dream and he was shot, and he said he felt it. He just felt the bullet, and I said, "Well, thank God that you woke up, because to have such a dream like that can result in people just dying." It reminds me of the, Nightmare on Elm Street, when Freddy comes into your dreams and then you're fighting and he kills you and then you die in real life. I want you to pause for a moment and just think how crazy that seems and crazy that sounds. And it shows you the proof of the power of our brain, the power that our brain can tell us stuff and our body will think that it's true. That's why some people believe in self-healing. They believe that just by thought you can heal your body. Because if I can sniff a stick to unblock my nose in my dream, which cleared in my dream, and I woke up moments later to an unblocked, well, it was still blocked up but not as cloggy as it was, that says a lot. So when people talk about affirming, affirmations, saying affirmations and getting down into your deep subconscious, this is why, because when your brain eventually believes it, you will act according to your brain. And sometimes it's like, what comes first? Is it us thinking and telling the brain to think, or the brain telling us to think? Our body is so, it's magical, it's mystical. We have an itch. Well, do we tell our hand to tell our brain to itch, or does our brain tell us to then go and itch it? To some people who have more extensive knowledge, it's like, well, it's obvious it's this, it's obvious it's that, it's not that big of a deal. But it kind of is, because when you start bringing that into the manifestation world, and when you manifest stuff and things happen, it just takes it to a whole new level. Now, how many times have you had a dream and it felt so real? Like, it's just happening, like really happening. I've had dreams like that. Some of them I wake up disappointed, because some dreams I went shopping and I bought some really nice stuff, and I haven't mastered of taking the actual products out of my dream into reality. Can you imagine that? Oh wow. Can you imagine if you can do it? I mean, you probably can, who knows? And I remember I've had dreams where I was a designer of an Adidas tracksuit, and there was only 3 in existence, but they weren't charging that much for it. And I was like, why they only made 3? And they marketed it like it was like, limited, but the amount they charged was like under £2,000. Like, it wasn't like it was a 50,000 Adidas suit, and it was in the material and the fabric, and it changed color. Like, it was just really weird. And I designed it, which is such a weird dream, because it's like, as much as I am creative, I never had, well, maybe I might have had a passing thought about designing my own, tracksuits and stuff like that. But it was a very weird dream, but it felt so real. There's times where I've dreamt of my mum after she passed, and it made me not miss her in real life, because my dreams were so realistic. I just felt as though I can just have a conversation, a relationship with my mum in this other world. So in this world, it's like, I did have moments when I really missed her, obviously, but because I was dreaming of her so often, I didn't feel that type of grief. And I was actually quite happy, because I got to see my mum and talk to my mum, even though I may not necessarily remember the full dream from start to finish. But it was pleasant enough that the feeling after my dream left me so satisfied and so happy. And the fact that I got to speak to my mum and have conversation with her, in reality, I felt fine. I felt good. So can you imagine when we tell ourselves stuff and we affirm things, it will eventually come to pass. It will eventually reflect our actual 3D life. However, we struggle with it. I struggle with it. We all struggle with it, because every day we are faced with certain realities, especially when we're trying to fix and sort out these realities. And there's always a constant reminder. And sometimes you're trying so hard, or you're just relaxing and you're doing whatever kind of state, but reality keeps reminding you are not there yet. and maybe you never get there, and it's going to take a long time. So to be constant in those thoughts of affirming that everything works out, I'm so happy, things are always working out for me, can be a bit of a challenge. But when you are in a dream state, when you're in dreamland, those thoughts tend to not exist. You just, well, in my dream, I just live my life, and I'm always happy and I'm always content in my dreams. I've had dreams where I'm being chased. Not personally, but people are being chased. Maybe it's all these films I'm always watching. And it could be a monster, it could be something. And sometimes I'm always in the same type of facility. And like the same streets. And it's weird. It's almost like your made up street in your dream world versus the street that you know in the real world kind of merge together. So there'll be elements of familiarity and there's other bits that isn't, but it's familiar to you in your dream because I've dreamt of that place so many times. And this times I dreamt of maybe Alien, all this type of stuff that you see in the movies. And I'm running, and I'm super fit because like I'm running all the time, and I'm hiding behind cars. I'm going down side roads, hoping that, I don't, the thing that if that's chasing everybody, it's chasing everybody, not me personally, it's chasing everybody. And when I wake up, I'm exhausted. Like I feel like I've just run a marathon, and I would get up and I think, oh my God, that was an amazing dream. But I am tired. I just feel like as though, damn, I need to sleep off my sleep because I had no rest. But my body, my heart, my blood vessels, my cells, my brain thought it was real. So my body reacted to that dream. It's like, yeah, this girl, she's got things chasing everybody. They're hiding and she's running and she's running and she's running and she's running. And, all this running, I haven't actually lost the weight from all this running. It'd be amazing if I made that happen too. I just dream about running in my sleep every single night. And, it's something that happens, and I notice it happens. I'm present when it's happened, and then you kind of forget about it. But when you start analyzing and bringing it back, and especially when you relate it to manifesting, it's like, yeah, thoughts become things. If you have any doubt, is real. And I know trying to manifest £100 tomorrow versus having a dream and and having my nose cleared might seem so far apart. But if you step back from your problems, step back from what you need out of life, and you just kind of just think about these elements and situations that happen in the reality in your dream world, it is amazing. And it probably is parallel to each other, except that in our dream world we are more free in sometimes, and things just happen in a different way. But in the reality, because we're awakened, I think there's a lot more thought that goes on. I think in your dreamland you have less thought, less going on. And what happens, the only thing that you focus on when you're dreaming is the actual dream itself. So whether it's a good dream, whether it's a nightmare, whether it's an okay dream, your dreams is just focus. You're just at the present. And there's a book called The Power of Now. I can't remember who it's by. So and they always tell you, focus on the present, focus on now. It doesn't mean you can't plan your future, set goals, and even go back to the past so you can learn from your mistakes. But now is the present time. And when you are dreaming, that is what you are focused on in your dreams. But unfortunately, when we wake up and you're in reality, our focus is on now, 10 minutes from now, half an hour from now, 2 weeks from now, a year from now, 6 years in the past. And then if we could, we will go sideways as well, because our mind is all over the place. So when we're trying to manifest, think about it. Imagine you're trying to manifest, but your mind has got like 5,000 different things that is going through its head. especially when none of them or hardly any of them is positive. It's just all like, how did I get myself in this situation? How did I manage to get, do this? Why is my life working out? Why is this not working for me? Why is manifestation not me? Why isn't prayer working for me? Why do I feel like I'm always left behind? So you have all these thoughts, and then you'll have those in all aspects of your life: relationships, money, weight, job, career, happiness, relationships with friends and family. And then what happens is, because we have all these affirmations naturally coming out of our head, and we just brain just is like, okay, so this is our reality. And what happens, these thoughts don't make us feel good, but we experience these thoughts, and then it projects into reality, and then we just live it every single day, even though we don't want to. But in the dreamland, you're just going to dream whatever you're dreaming. You're running, you're driving a car, you are with a loved one, you're swimming in the sea. Whatever that dream is always focused only on the dream. And what we need to do is practice in reality what we do in the dream world. If you're someone who doesn't dream, it's the same thing, except that you just don't have the experience of dreaming. Now, just to clear things up, this is an afterthought, so I've actually injected this in here. So if you hear a change of tone of voice and less cold and stuffed up, this is why. To sum it up, basically what I am saying to you is that because my focus was trying to unclear and unblock my nose in my dream, an opportunity presented itself to me, and I took it, and it gave me what I want: an unblocked nose, or at least a partially unblocked nose, or enough for me to be able to breathe and not feel as though I'm drowning. So if we focus and we put that into reality, I want to go and I want to sell books. I want to write a book and I want to sell it. And you focus on writing that book and selling that book, it will come to pass. If your goal is to sell 10 of them, you'll sell 10, 15, 20, 1,000, you will sell it. Anyway, I've waffled on long enough. This is just like off my head podcast. I hope you enjoyed it, guys. If you did, leave a little message to say you enjoy my podcast. If you would like me to talk about other things, and if I'm able to talk about them, like it's in my scope of knowing, I will talk. Leave a little something somewhere. You can go on my YouTube channel, you can watch my affirmation videos, and you can leave messages there too. So guys, anyway, I'm gonna stop this video podcast right now. I can feel my nose slightly bunging up. I think because the heating in my room is kind of making me a bit stuffy, but I'm gonna get up. I'm getting a bit dry in my mouth as well. And I hope you enjoy this podcast, but I will talk to you later.